was so mad. I was so mad because I ate zonke lezi zinto bezizidla. I drank the teas. I drank the okra water. I was doing the exercises. I was doing the mile circuit. I did everything about yenziwe. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Charlotte and I am here to share my experience as a first time mom. I am laughing because ayikho into nje. Ngiyayiqala mina into nje, angiyazi mina into nje. But anyway, let's just get into it. I am 24 years old and I'm currently 4 weeks postpartum. Yes, my baby is 4 weeks today. And whew, when I tell you, Uguti, pregnancy humbled me. Pregnancy showed me colors that I didn't know existed. Okay? Mantomazana wami, ngicela please, ungamithi. First of all, ungamithi. But if you do decide to have a baby, if you do decide to get pregnant, make sure Uguti, you are the one who wants the baby. Make sure Uguti, you are the one who wants to get pregnant. Not your partner, but you. You understand? Not your partner, but you. So let's start from the very beginning on how I found out I was pregnant. So I feel like I knew from the very first day, from the day I got pregnant, Duguti, something happened. I told my partner immediately and he just thought it was wishful thinking. And you know, I actually was pregnant. I kept taking tests, and then they were negative. They came out negative until I missed my period. Took another test, it also came out negative. But I knew Uguti, something was happening in my body, and I felt Uguti, indeed I was pregnant. However, all the tests were coming out negative. Until weeks later, I took a test and it was positive. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe Uguti, it was actually positive. I was so happy. However, I did not want to get too excited before confirming with an actual doctor, Uguti. Is it really happening? So my partner and I went to a doctor in our area to confirm. And he did confirm Uguti, I was pregnant and I was happy. But at the same time now, the reality was kicking in because I'd wanted this baby for so long. God, like I was actually creating a human being until that moment. It's okay, now the baby is in my womb. It's happening. It was actually happening. I was excited, I was happy, but I was also sick. I started getting sick from day one. From day one I started getting sick and I thought it was inyongo, it was kantinochem. I mean, I didn't know. One thing about the first trimester for me, the symptoms. You see all those symptoms you read about, Uguti, when somebody is pregnant, they vomit, this happened, that happened. I had all of them. And I also had the symptoms that they don't tell you about. I know, Uguti, this might be too much information, but because of this pregnancy, I also developed hemorrhoids. And they will never go away, unfortunately. Truth, I will have them forever unless I go for a surgery. Do you understand, Uguti, how permanent that is? Do you get how permanent that is? But anyway, I had all the symptoms. I was vomiting all day, every day. Everything, Jay. Not Uguti, it was smelling bad, but if I eat no mayini, it will come out. If I drink too much water, it'll come out. And now I was so worried about that because now I was taking those supplements from the clinic. And I thought, since I'm vomiting everything, these supplements are not going into the baby. So maybe I might have like a sickly baby or a baby that is deformed or I had all those worries, trust me. But fortunately it didn't happen like that. Thankfully, it didn't happen like that. So that was the first trimester for me. And another big thing that happened the first trimester was telling my mom. So I got pregnant in September, and my birthday was in November. The time I had like a birthday dinner for family only. This year it was family only. I didn't want to invite friends because I felt guilty. Um, it was my last birthday, man. Ninga so mama, and also I was sick. I wasn't sick on that day, but I didn't know what things about on that day, so I just decided to invite family just in case I start vomiting, and I could just tell those people gonna be rude. But if mind you, they're like people who are outsiders, I had to tell them gonna be rude, and I was avoiding that. So my birthday came. I wanted to tell my mom on my birthday, but then I decided, no, man, let me not. Actually, it was the nerves. I didn't know how to break the news to her, so I decided, no, let me not tell her yet. I waited for her birthday, which is also on November, day 27. So on her birthday, I sent her a message, which happy birthday, blah, 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 fire, a heartfelt message. And then, towards the end, I just told her, one of your gifts is on its way from China because I bought something from Shein for her. And then I said, the other gift, you're going to get it next year, go June. A grandchild. I am pregnant. That is how I told her. And Gelapa was shaking, not knowing how she was going to take the news. But I had an idea, Uguti, she was going to be happy about it because firstly, I'm her only child. And secondly, she had been hinting, Yana Uguti, she's ready for a grandchild, blah, 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 blah. So I somehow knew Ganyanje with Jabula. So yeah, I told her she was happy, she was excited about it. And ever since the day in Jelly, like she was really present throughout the entire pregnancy. Like she was really a present grandma. She made sure with she's there every step of the way. And I'm so glad with I had my mom because if they are I don't know what I was gonna do really. And then second trimester, the symptoms were still there. The vomiting went down a bit, and I was sleeping a bit less in the second trimester. And being to mina, my things were relaxed, so I'm nandi, kube yimlona my bum shots and my belly out, nan. It wasn't like that. I was still sick. I was still sick the second trimester. And the worst thing about it, not really the worst thing, but something disappointing in the second trimester is that I wanted to know the gender of the baby. I wanted to know what was I having. Went for a scan, lutho umntwana wasifihla. Went for another one, umntwana wasifihla. Went for like 4 scans throughout the pregnancy. Umntwana wathi, nope, you are not gonna know ukuthi igender yami yini. And ngagcina ngamukela ukuthi okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna find out when I'm giving birth ukuthi umntwana yini. Because I went for a scan, like literally couldn't attend, there was a study twice. The gender we couldn't see. And then there was a time when I got sick. The second trimester, I went to Johannesburg Hospital. I don't know what it's called now. And Bacheka Futi, they couldn't see when they were doing the scan because I told that doctor, my child full of the scan, and she was like, no, I'm gonna see and I'm gonna tell you. She really tried. She couldn't tell. And then the last one, I think, yeah, I was also in a hospital. I was going to the third trimester. Oh, I was vomiting blood. They tried checking what was happening. And then they tried to check also each gender. They couldn't see. They couldn't tell each gender. So my baby decided to hide each gender. And then I started shopping for the baby, and I had to buy obviously neutral colors like white, cream white, and zonke lezito. Yabo. So yeah, that was my experience with the second trimester. I was still sick, very much sick. Okay, third trimester, yo, sleeping was hell. When I tell you, Guti, when it was time for bed, I wanted to cry because sleeping was hell. You'd wake up every 2 minutes to pee. When you get there, it's just a drop. You'll feel so pressed. When you get there, it's just a drop. Every 2 minutes, you have to wake up to pee. You have to sleep in only 2 positions. Now, they were not comfortable. I had a pregnancy pillow, which made it a little bit better, but still, I was suffering. Okay? I was suffering. The good part about all of this is that my baby, was healthy. My baby was moving. My baby was fine. My baby was okay. Every time I went for my appointments, for my ANCs, I'd be so happy because the heartbeat was strong, the fetal movements were good. That was the only good thing about the pregnancy. Otherwise, when that boy been fuck off, to be honest, it was horrible. Lapo, it was my very first pregnancy, my very first experience, and I had seen people getting pregnant before, yeah, but it was all cutesy, all beautiful, all nice, all rosy, the pregnancy part, and one of the just complained about the labor. Mina, the pregnancy, it just felt like it was sent from hell. And honestly, if I didn't have the support that I had from my mother and my partner, I don't think I would have survived. I literally thought I was gonna. That's how bad it was, especially first trimester. It was the worst. I was sick every single day. I literally couldn't do anything. Sometimes I just lay there the whole day. Gilambe. Get so hungry, but when I stand up, I'm so dizzy. And yeah, no, it was really, really bad. Third trimester, I had to get my mom to come live with us because it it was also bad. And worst part, the baby was so big, so there are so many things that I couldn't do for myself and by myself. I couldn't. So yeah, I'm so grateful for the support that I had. I'm repeating this. If I wasn't the one who said I wanted a baby, kube manje I'm going through the worst depression. But thankfully, I had that thing engqondweni yami ukuthi I wanted this baby. I want this baby. So whatever I'm going through, uh, I'm going through it because I really, really want this baby. Koda, it doesn't take away from the fact that it was bad. It was hell, the pregnancy. Okay? Now, let's talk about let's talk about the labor. I don't want to get into too much detail about the labor because no, that requires its own video on how it went step by step. But the labor was really, it was really testing. It was really difficult, and the worst part about it is that I labored for 23 hours. I labored for 23 hours, Gabanga. I was so mad. I was so mad because I ate. I ate zonke the season. I drank the teas. I drank the okra water. I was doing the exercises. I was doing the mile circuit. I did everything about to prepare your body for labor. I did it all. I was exercising. I was so fit. I was exercising. Like the curb walkings, I was running, I was walking, I was so that it was smooth. And I was so delusional. Usually, I'm just gonna get in there, pop the baby out, come back home. My labor started around 2 a.m. the day after my estimated day of delivery. So the day after that, I started feeling my labor pain for 2 a.m. Now, corner, I was so tired to a point where I asked my man to buy me castor oil the following day. So the following day, I was gonna buy castor oil and just take it over. I was so tired. I'm a pain Nakala, fortunately, go 2 a.m. And then I went to the hospital around 5, nothing at about 6. Tell me why, Gashala. All day, no, but singing ready, you know what, whatever happens, happens. But singing in a prayer with God, whatever happens, happens. But same on my phone, I had notes to my man, to my mom. But same value to see with you. And it's fine because it was really that bad. And let me not get into the details of it. But fortunately, I ended up delivering a healthy baby, and yeah, having that baby is the only positive thing I experience. To be honest, my baby is healthy. My baby doesn't cry much. But He hasn't even cried much. Sounds of grants and none, but whew, that is the only positive thing. Yo, I don't even want to talk about the yo, Kosiam. I thought they were exaggerating me now and cooking bed and doing all of those things. I thought it was like an exaggeration, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. And that I didn't really like putting wondering was that after giving birth, you're obviously gonna have your baby, but there is now postpartum care that you need to have. You need to do there are things that you need to do to take care of yourself. There are stitches, there are kosiam. I'm still saying namanje ukuthi if unganam does support kosiam, if unganam does support it through this journey, just imagine because so much without the people who were there to support me. The postnatal care, the stitches, I got so I got so many stitches and ziningi izinto that I couldn't do. I haven't even healed namanje. It's been 4 weeks and I still haven't healed. And I still get help from my mother and obviously my partner. Or partner himself, but I'm just grateful that my mom is also here to help and assist. Otherwise, hey. But in all of that, in all the horrors that I've shared, I just want to say, Wuti, I never thought Wuti being a mom would be such an amazing experience. I wanted a baby for me, for myself, for my selfish reasons, but I didn't know Wuti having a baby would make me so happy. You know, when my baby, akhala nje, like mania lapaya and says, oh man, this little human, young dinga. Do you understand? My phone like a feeder and things like that. Do you know that feeling is so amazing? That feeling is so wonderful. And I understand it's not the same feeling for every mom. And your experience is valid. Your experience is valid. But that was my experience. With I'm like, my baby, you were worth the whole thing. And so far, the only difficult day for me postpartum was, besides taking care of myself, but with the baby, there was a day when the baby was 2 weeks, I think, yeah, 2 weeks old. I didn't know eating a lot of cabbage could harm your milk supply, and I was eating it every day. Then food like I'm a veg, like so I was eating cabbage, jalo, cabbage, because lunch it's really hard to tola umbro, so I just go shop and buy cabbage. Sometimes I just eat it like the rice and coleslaw and that. But every meal when you eat had a cabbage. I didn't know it was gonna ruin my milk supply. So this other day, mangvu, I'm trying to pump. It's dry. I'm trying to pump a few drops. Umntwana uyancela but 2 years ukuthi like akunalutho. Akanceli lutho and you can tell ukuthi sure. But I'm ulambile. That was the worst and most difficult day for me. But yeah, thankfully it was just one day. I rushed with some things that were needed. That time I like even a pump. I changed the pump that I was using because I was using manual. I decided to do it. No, you know what? Let me just buy the automatic pump because I read somewhere which it does help with milk supply. Oh, but I pump like both breasts at the same time. So I just decided to switch to that one. Other than that, it has been so beautiful. My body has changed, not a lot, but it has changed, and I am finding ways to love it again. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, honestly, but the changes are there. The stretch marks are there. My baby was so big, so my belly was so big, and the stretch marks were there. Unfortunately, I had stretch marks before I even got pregnant, and I did buy my cream, I did buy my oil, I did buy Zonkelis to help with the stretch marks. While I was still pregnant, they didn't help. But now that I've had my baby, I'm still applying those things. I can see the change. But the thing that is working for me the most is my own breast milk. Applying it on the stretch marks is really helping. It's magic. Even one thing about breast milk, they say it's liquid gold because it really is liquid gold. But yeah, I think I've shared enough about like the basics of being a mom so far. I've shared enough about the basis of being a mom so far. Like, this isn't just being about colleague, I think maybe sometime later I might share those things, but for now, I think that's all I wanted to share, really. And this is my first video on my channel, so I'll make another video with like a proper introduction of who I am, what I do, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow on this app here, so help a girl out. Thank you. Bye.